In this video, we will show you how to teach the straddle sitting in vault. The straddle sitting is the easiest vault in wheel gymnastics. It belongs to the category of vaults performed in a tuck or straddle position from arm support on the wheel. Very important is that the gymnast jumps with both feet off the ground and that your gymnast is not lying or sitting on the wheel but in arm support on her straight arms. Here is a little overview of what we will cover in this video. You can skip to each chapter by clicking on the time marks in the video description. Before teaching your gymnast any vault with the wheel, your gymnast must be able to run and perform a straight jump from both feet. The next step is to teach your gymnast the straddle jump over a buck. You can help your gymnast by holding her hips. Pay attention that you stand diagonally behind your gymnast while spotting to not get kicked by her legs. If necessary, you can use a second coach. This is only necessary the first few times if the gymnast is scared. It's a bit tricky to hold the shoulders since the coach might get kicked by the legs. After a while, your gymnast will be able to perform this vault without your help. This exercise on parallel bars can help your gymnast for the second part of the vault. The hips have to rise higher than the contact point of the hands. To get far away from the wheel, the gymnast has also to push away her body from the wheel very hard with her arms. A very common mistake is that the gymnast starts the move by bending their knees and kicking with the legs. When your gymnast can make a straddle jump over a buck, then she is ready to learn the straddle sitting vault over a small wheel. To start, use the smallest wheel available. As a coach, you can help your gymnast like your help with the straddle jump over the buck. Pay attention that your gymnast jumps off the ground very close to the wheel and grabs the wheel with straight arms. While on the wheel, the gymnast has to be in arm support. The upper body of the gymnast leans forward and the legs are touching the hands. This is not a good execution since the gymnast is leaning too much backwards and is not in good arm support. This is a very bad execution since the gymnast is putting her elbows on the wheel. The gymnast has to grab the wheel with straight arms and be in arm support on top of the wheel. When the gymnast puts her elbows on the wheel, then it is very often because the gymnast is using a wheel that is too big for her capabilities. She then needs to practice on a smaller wheel. It is of the highest importance that your gymnast learns this vault with straight arms from the beginning. If you don't have very small wheels, you can practice with a bigger wheel with the gymnast starting from a gymnastic box. When your gymnast can make a perfect straddle jump over the smallest wheel without your help, she can increase the wheel size by 5 cm. When the gymnast performs 3 to 5 perfect jumps in a row, she can take the next wheel size and so on. No mat is used so that the timing is not important. Only increase the wheel size when the vaults are absolutely perfect. When the technique starts to get worse, go directly back to a smaller wheel. When your gymnast reaches a medium-sized wheel, then it is time to start jumping on a mat. The mat forces the gymnast to always grab the wheel at the same position of the wheel. I would suggest you teach your gymnast to grab the wheel near the rim handles, but this is not mandatory. Again, when the vaults are perfect, your gymnast can move to larger wheels. And you can now also focus on the second part of the vault. Here, your gymnast has to lift her hips and jump far away from the wheel. The hips have to rise higher than the contact point of the hands. To get far away from the wheel, the gymnast has also to push away her body from the wheel very hard with her arms. Pay attention to straight legs when taking off from the wheel. Kicking the legs is a very common mistake that should not be done. When your gymnast reaches a wheel that is big enough, then she can move the wheel from inside. And finally, we have the complete straddle sitting jump, with moving the wheel from inside and landing on a mat. You can play around with the straddle sit by, for example, letting your gymnast jump in a row.